Are we live, Tiki? I think
There
we
we go.
are. Cousin Sal here. We all have fancy nicknames. Martin Weiss, my good pals, Dave Damashek. It's halftime. We're about halftime. We have one more play before halftime. The Chiefs and Giants. I don't know. I'm laughing at this game. This is a funny game. It seems like nobody wants to win. The Chiefs were favored by 11. The over-under was 53 going in. It's now 14-10 with 5 seconds left, and the refs are not even close to being done throwing flags before the intermission. Val, what do you think, Dave? I don't know what I'm looking at. Patrick
You can
Mahomes
call me. You're so confused.
I know.
You're calling me by my Yiddish name, Velvel. Right.
I have a lot of money on the Chiefs money line. I did this thing, Martin. I thought I was being smart. I'm like, I'm going to get ahead of the money line parlay for the weekend. I'm going to take the Chiefs on Monday. The Cincinnati Bearcats are like a 22-point favorite. The Buffalo Bills over the Jaguars. That money line, all money lines, Ohio State money lines, minus 159. I thought this was a gimme. It's not a gimme. It's great. It's crazy. I don't know what I'm watching here. I really don't. 14-10 half.
I think I realized it when Kansas City was playing Philadelphia. They're not a good football team right now. They're just not very good. And I saw that the Giants were getting 10 points, who also are not a very good football team. Do not get confused. The Giants are not good either. But I just was looking. If you look at the other double-digit favorites in the league, you're looking at like the Rams this week and last week, the Buccaneers. Kansas City is not in that class right now, but people keep putting them in there.
Yeah. Shaq, the idea I thought, though, Martin, was that, all right, they beat up on the NFC East at least, right? They covered against Philadelphia. They covered at Washington. I think both were road games, pretty sure. This is a home game. It's a must-win. We've looked at their schedule ad nauseum. It gets awful after this. You got the Packers in there, right? You got the Cowboys. You got the Raiders ×2. You have the Chargers. I don't know that they get right. We'll look at the second half spread check. It's 3.5. Chiefs are favored by 3.5 in the second half. I don't know if I love that.
Well, I hear you. I will say I'll go to the end of the novel here, and I do think they'll cover it. But I hear what Marty Weiss is saying. I've been saying it all off season. I said it all through August. This Chiefs team, just because we get very used to logos, obviously, in pro football, and we assume past deeds equal future deeds. And this, I mean, even for somebody who has been saying, let's not count on the Chiefs just endlessly winning 13, 14 games so long as Patrick Mahomes is on their team. But, man, yeah, I'm stunned. I mean, what really told the tale? This is not a good Giants defense. The team isn't good either, but the offense at least has a pulse. This is the 24th or 25th scoring defense in the league, and the Chiefs just can't obliterate them. Is stunning. And I think the most telling thing of the first half there was it occurred to me like, oh, Joe Judge, you got to go for it when you're this close to the goal line against the Chiefs. You got to score points to keep up. It's like, no. I guess you don't. You're right in the game there, Joe Judge. Good call to kick that field goal.
They're in this. Martin, I will say, I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes in this offense, and it seems like every other drive, right? Like that first drive, went downfield, got a little cute at the goal line. He threw an interception, but it was all short stuff, and it worked, and people were open, and everything went according to plan. And then the next drive, it looks like how I envisioned Patrick Mahomes 11 years from now when he's playing for the Panthers, right? Like what the hell? It's over for him. I don't know what to expect. I will say your bet of plus 10.5 is pretty damn good. And I'm looking at overall, you might want to take the Giants plus 360. Why not?
I mean, I did kind of take like one of those kind of, I call it personally a lotto ticket because it has no chance of hitting, but I took some NBA underdogs and the Giants tonight just for fun at plus 435. But the thing about the Chiefs, I heard Brandon Staley, actually, coach of the Chargers, say this week 2 or 3 after everybody, how are you so good analytically? And he talked about his commitment to running the ball. And it's because football has this level of physicality that, math can't incorporate, or they haven't figured out a variable to solve for the X of like what it's like to move a grown man against his will. I think that's what the Chiefs offense is lacking, because that's what it is, right? It's the consistency of being able, and what is really truly consistency, being able to run the ball for like 4 yards when you need to go get 4 or 5 yards to keep the chains moving. Chiefs can't do that consistently.
He got called for grounding. I feel like he can get called for grounding every second or third time he drops back to pass. What the hell's going on?
What the hell is he doing? Some of those balls that he's throwing are just outrageous. And it's like, what's the outside noise that he's hearing? You know, no one would ever concede like, yeah, the media's getting under my skin here, whatever. But man, he just continues to try and make throws that just ain't there. And I hear you, Marty Weiss, because all the analytics people say there is no correlation between successfully running the ball and play action working. But at some point, if there is no threat that the team's going to run the ball against you, then it is a factor that they're not going to be able to successfully run the ball ever against you, and there's no will to do it. Then the Giants or any other defense, understand how one-dimensional it is. And still, the other thing is, they're two pass catchers that Patrick Mahomes ever looks at. And even in this game, Travis Kelce ain't even getting the looks. And
he
now
has one for 3.
Media.
So in
the hell with that guy too. Is he old?
In lieu of a running game. All right, how about that short stuff? That stuff works, right? Like, Tyreek Hill doesn't even move off the line of scrimmage. You throw him a screen, he gets 4 yards. They tried it with Kelce. That was the only time they tried it. He has 1 reception for 3 yards. Bad job by me so far. I have him for anytime touchdown, minus 125. Good job, though, Brother Bry had Hill plus 550 to score first. And he did, and he's got 8 receptions. Nice. But I don't know that it's enough. They don't have Frank Gore. Strahan was wrong. It's Derek Gore, 9 rushes, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Do we like anything for the second half? Like I said, Chiefs minus 3.5, 26.5 is the over-under. I would not take it. Let's maybe think about someone to score a touchdown. You like Kelce at 2-1? You like Booker 250? Hill to get another one at 2-1? Or is there a long shot in here?
I'm going to throw a long shot at you. Mecole Hardman, I'm going to throw because if you're Andy Reid, you must at some point say, like, this is not something that we can continue to do over the course of the season. And I don't know what the trade deadline and Von Miller maybe loosens things up, and maybe there's another pass catcher you can go get. But in the meantime, this is not a viable thing to, we'll turn it around. Eventually, the assumption is just going to turn around with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill being the only guys he ever targets is not doable. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, we got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of somebody else. So let's go hard.
All right, Martin, give me one.
I like Kadarius Toney, anytime touchdown scorer. I think that we've seen. I don't know who this Jason Garrett is because at working where I was contractually obligated to watch every single Cowboys game. I've never seen things like this. Types of like wide receiver passes and all that fun stuff. But it looks as if they're using their best skill players, Daniel Jones and Toney, and putting them in the best positions to score. So when they get down there, I have a good feeling Kadarius Toney will be involved in the play calling. I've been 1 yard off on these the last 3 Monday nights. I
am really okay. So is there a problem? Let me see if FanDuel has any time to get to the 1 yard line. No, they don't. They don't have anything like that. That stinks. They should add that. I'm
to break your heart. Yeah, that's a good one. Who's going to upset me the most in the second half?
Right, that's an interesting half a yard out. My anytime touchdown for the second half. The New York Giants defense. I don't like the way these balls are coming off. The sidearm is the only thing that's working for Mahomes. The regular drop back throw, like he went to Manning quarterback college, is not even close in a lot of these. 12-1, Martin. Giants score a touchdown in the second half. That's the defense. That's the special teams. Talk about being close. These ping-ponging the ball around. Sometimes it's not his fault. Sometimes they're dropping interceptions, but he doesn't look good. I mean, I would take – by the way, I had the Chiefs minus 10.5. I have them on this giant money line parlay. I'm bailing. I don't like flip-flopping on my bets too much, but I hate what I see. Really bad.
It's funny how I think the guiding light for so many people who talk into a microphone are concerned. They just want to come out right about things, understandably. And so the odds are Patrick Mahomes will turn it around. So overreacting or the sense that like I'm diminishing the Chiefs is a fool's bet to do something like that. But man, oh man, if you're watching the games, including this one, that's just bad luck that ball ping-ponged like that in the end zone. But he threw 2 balls at least that should have been picked off. Straight up. Threw terrible passes that were atrocious. And what the hell is he even looking at? But he is still like, maybe it's more Tyreek Hill than anything else. He's one pass away from covering.
Sure.
Right. So
Yeah.
I kind of like the Chiefs still after all.
All right.
The
So if you
belly
like
aching
the
I'm
Chiefs
doing
and
here.
you like Pat, I'm looking at defensive props. Is there one that Sorensen will never make a tackle again? No, they don't have that. Receiving props then, check. You would like Tyreek Hill's over under is 106.5. He's already at 56. So you need 51 the rest of the way. Could be one reception.
Yeah, I like that. I think you're right. I think that what works in in an offense that doesn't have a ton working for it, I guess in a tight game that that little screen out to him is their most effective play. So I guess maybe they'll try to
like
ride
that.
a
I like
little
that.
bit.
They threw to him 8 times, or probably more times. He only has 8. He has 8 receptions. So to get 51 yards in the second half should be doable. Could be one play. All right, Mark, you want to hit us with another player prop before we shut it down?
Part of me is I'm looking at you said Sorensen and it made me think John Ross might be the guy. If the Chiefs lose this game, it's going to be on like some crazy 50-yard bomb, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And it's going to be John Ross getting behind somebody. Plus 850.
Oh, for a touchdown. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Not
I mean,
bad.
that was indicative of how bad that defense is. That not only did they interfere with John Ross, who weighs 103 pounds, but he also then caught that pass. That was pretty grim. And if you need another piece of evidence, Devontae Booker is gashing them. I mean, Devontae Booker, I like them coming out of Utah, but injuries and otherwise have knocked them down quite a bit. He's destroying them there. Good luck, Marty Weiss. It's a fun bet you have going there.
All right, let's
would not have
review
believed
these.
it.
We like 2 score. We like Hardman 5-1. That's yours, Shaq. Kadarius Toney. They're using him a lot in this offense. Plus 430. That's Martin's. Martin also likes Ross to score plus 850. I like the Giants defense to sneak one in somehow. 12-1. Giants get the ball right, by the way, in the second half, so they could just run it right back here, and I'll win that bet. I would sprinkle a little at plus 360. I'm going to do so with this monster money line parlay staring me in the face on the Giants. And we like Hill over 51 yards, win or lose. I think that's a good bet in the second half. Wednesday, we're coming back. We got Bumper Pool on, guys. We haven't talked to him in a while.
All right. It's been too long.
Yeah. Leads Arkansas in tackles. Big SEC battles coming up. Shaq, real quick, I want to bring this up Wednesday. The SEC, I think, has an unfair advantage of having the best uniform matchups. Everything's so colorful. It doesn't matter. It's just, come on. The Big Ten, they're drab. They're kind of drab. They match the weather there. You got LSU against Florida, and then branch those two off against anybody, and it's a great uniform match.
You know what? I could argue with you all night and into the morning about this, Sal, but you know what? I've already won because Cousin Sal is talking about football uniforms. I win. It took 20 years to get him to care about uniforms. But here we are. This is terrific. And hey, guess what? I'm also happy for you because I haven't looked at the schedule. Cooper Rush is going to get his shot at this Chiefs defense too, right? Yeah, hopefully maybe he'll get a shot at least at the Giants again. Either way.
I was looking for MVP. Yeah, I mean, can you actually say that any team is probably going to win their division with the backup? Like if it came to that? I really think like Cooper Rush could bring this team to 8-9, right? Can you say that about any other team?
Cooper Rush can't bring this team to 8-9.
What are you talking about? They got 6 already, right?
I guess so. I was just thinking of the prospect of Cooper Rush winning multiple games. Like I just don't.
Only 2 more.
And before we bounce, go ahead, Marty.
I was about to say about the game that's on tonight. Yeah. I am concerned in the second quarter. Kansas City seemed to find something with Derek, not Frank Gore, running the ball. He had like 30 yards on the second in there. That gives me cause for concern because I like to see Mahomes throwing the ball sideways. Throwing the ball towards the sidelines. I feel like that bodes well for the Giants defense.
So anyone with Derrick Henry should pick up Derek Gore, you're saying right now at this point. Someone like me who has him in 3 of 14 leagues or something. But anyway, they're about to kick off.
News,
go ahead, Chuck.
To make everybody feel better if you're on the Chiefs side of things, if you take away that John Ross fluke play, which is borderline David Tyree on the helmet catch, I mean, this game feels very different right now. So unless they're going to pull more fluke plays off like that, maybe they'll pick 6 Mahomes up. All right, we'll talk about it again.
Me, Tiki, Steven, and Bumper will check us out on Extra Points Wednesday. See you guys. Now, Martin, you have 40 seconds to